Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. In this video, we are diving into the ultimate guide to Naval Ravikant's philosophy of wealth and happiness, based on the book The Almanack of Naval Ravikant. I've summarized every essential insight you need to know, so by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to design a wealthy, free, and happy life in the naval way. The book has two main sections, wealth and happiness. Wealth teaches us to combine specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage so outputs is not tied to our inputs, ours. Happiness teaches us to remove unnecessary desire, return to presence, and live as a single player game, which I'll explain later. So, who Naval is and why he matters here. Naval Ravikant is an icon in Silicon Valley and startup culture around the world. He founded multiple successful companies, including Opinions and AngelList. He's an angel investor who bet early on Uber, Twitter, Postmates, and hundreds more. More than financial success, Naval shares a philosophy of life and happiness. So he's followed because he seems to be both successful and happy. The book is a permanent, accessible format, collecting a decade of his words from his tweets, blogs, and podcasts, so the wisdom doesn't get buried. Here's a one-sentence thesis in my words. Combine specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage, and play long-term games with long-term people. Happiness, remove the sense that the something is missing. Practice presence, reduce desires, live as a single player, accept what you can change, and choose your own standard of the good moment. So here's the roadmap. We'll talk about wealth foundations, how to get rich without getting lucky, specific knowledge and authenticity, accountability, ownership, and equity, leverage, labor, capital, and products with no marginal cost of replication, judgment, partners, and long-term games, time, focus, and prioritization, productize yourself, happiness, default state, presence, and desire, acceptance, mortality, and single-player life, being yourself, and health as a base, review, and actions. Let's dive into it. Wealth foundations. Making money is a skill you earn, not a one-time event. Hard work matters, but direction matters more. It's not really about hard work. You can work in a restaurant 80 hours a week, and you're not going to get rich. Getting rich is about knowing what to do, who to do it with, and when to do it. Work hard, but only once you've aligned on the right work, the right people, and the right timing. Wealth doesn't equal money, doesn't equal status. Seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. Money is how we transfer time and wealth. Status is your place in a societal hierarchy, often a zero-sum game that distracts from building. Ignore people playing status games. They gain points by attacking people who is playing wealth games. How to get rich without getting lucky. In Naval's words, it's this. Seek wealth, not status. Understand ethical wealth creation is possible. If you secretly despise wealth, it will elude you. Don't rent out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business, to gain your financial freedom. Give society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. Pick an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. Use the internet. The career space is massively broader than most people realize. Play iterated games. All the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, comes from compound interest. Choose partners with high intelligence, energy, and above all, integrity. Don't partner with cynics or pessimists. Learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. Arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. The learning path. Specific knowledge cannot be trained for in a classroom. It's discovered by pursuing your curiosity and passion, not by chasing hot trends. It feels like play to you and it looks like work to others. Apprenticeships and doing pass it on better than schools. Specific knowledge is often technical or creative. It can't be outsourced or automated. This phrase ties the whole system together. Apply specific knowledge with leverage, and eventually you'll get what you deserve. Specific knowledge is your authentic edge, and leverage is your multiplying force. The next section is about specific knowledge and authenticity. What specific knowledge is pointing us toward. It is what you cannot be trained for because it sits at your unique intersection of talent, curiosity, and obsession. It's often at the edge of knowledge, the stuff being figured out now, or the stuff that's hard to figure out. Think of MrBeast and other long-time online creators who've been experimenting for years. If you are not 100% into it, someone who is will outperform you, not by a little, but by a lot. Internet tailwind. You can find your audience, build a business, create a product, and build wealth by uniquely expressing yourself online. The internet scales authentic niches. So escape competition through authenticity. If you are fundamentally building and marketing something that is an extension of who you really are, no one can compete with you on that. For example, who's going to compete with Joe Rogan or Scott Adams at being themselves? Or even Mr. Beast? It's impossible. The best jobs are creative expressions of continuous learners in free markets, not handed down by decree or degree. Become a perpetual learner. Aim to become an expert in a new field in 9 to 12 months. You still need depth. You can only achieve mastery in one or two things, usually the things you're obsessed with. Identity guardrails. No one can compete with you on being you. Most of the life is a search for who and what needs you the most. To make an original contribution, you have to be irrationally obsessed with something. Obsession creates depth, depth creates edge, edge creates authenticity, and authenticity creates the moat. Accountability, ownership, and equity. Take on accountability on your work. Embrace accountability and take business risk under your own name. Society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. People grant you capital and follow your lead when you stand behind outcomes publicly. For example, like Elon Musk with Tesla and SpaceX, or a creator owning their channel's success. People trust you more and want to support you. Without equity ownership, inputs are tightly tied to outputs. In either hourly or salaried roles, even at high rates, you are nothing while sleeping. Doctors who get really rich do it by owning a practice like brand and IP or inventing a device. Owning equity in a company basically means you own the upside. And it's the same for businesses like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Debt holds guaranteed streams and often the downside, but equity holds the upside. If you don't own equity, your odds of making serious wealth are very slim. For owning equity, you can either buy it, like shares, or build it, like starting a business. For example, when you build an app, a YouTube channel, or a digital course, you are creating an asset that can keep earning even when you are not working. That's equity. Optimism and mindset. If you despise wealth, it will avoid you. You won't have the right spirit. You won't build the right relationships. You won't play the right games. Optimists do better over long horizons. 3 types of leverage: labor, capital, and products with no marginal cost of replication. The first leverage is labor, which is other people working for you, and it's the oldest form. It's impressive on the outside, but it is the worst in modern context because management is messy and the scale is linear. The second type of leverage is capital, money multiplying decisions. It scales well, dominating the last centuries of fortunes, but it is permissioned, meaning someone must give it to you, or you must earn it slowly. The third type of leverage, which can be the most powerful one for most of the people, is products with no marginal cost of replication. This is the permissionless leverage, which means you don't ask for anyone's permissions. The new most democratic form are code and media. Books, media, movies, code. You don't need anyone's permission. You create one, and the system runs forever, making you money. For example, when a creator uploads a video, it can reach millions without any extra effort. Each view is another tiny robot working for them. Infinite leverage through media. So why permission leverage wins today? It represents the new fortunes, code or media, from Joe Rogan to Mr. Beast to tech founders. It's egalitarian. Coding, writing, recordings are open to anyone. You're never going to get rich renting out your time. Make sure to optimize for independence and outputs measured by results, not inputs. Leverage multiplies judgment. Leverage is a force multiplier. If the judgment is poor, it multiplies mistakes. If judgment is good, however, code and media scale it 1,000 times. Judgment, partners, and long-term games. Study foundations. Skip the noise. There is no skill called business. Avoid business magazine and business classes. Reading is faster than listening. Doing is faster than watching. Choose people carefully. And play long-term games with long-term people. Compounding as a life lens. All the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. When you find the right people and the right thing, invest deeply. Stick with it for decades to see the largest returns. The 99% and the 1%. 99% of effort is wasted, not because learning is useless, but because only a small set of actions create compounding returns over time. The aim is to find that 1% and go all in. Don't obsess over identifying it immediately, but once you find it, commit and ignore the rest. Time, focus, and prioritization. Price your time and enforce it. Value your time at an hourly rate and ruthlessly spend to save time at that rate. You will never be worth more than you think you are worth. Set an aspirational hourly rate. It should feel absurdly high. If fixing a problem saves less than your hourly rate, ignore it. If outsourcing a task costs less than your rate, outsource it. Even when he was young, Naval acted as if his time were worth more than the market said. His rate was $1,000 per hour, and behavior followed the belief. Operate on outputs, not inputs. Keep an uncluttered calendar, but be too busy to do coffee. Focus on actual work that moves the needle, not meetings that advertise effort. But what you work on and who you work with matter more than role intensity. Become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining your niche until that's true. Productize yourself. Notice productize and yourself. Yourself has uniqueness. Productize has leverage. Yourself has accountability. And productize has specific knowledge. So combine uniqueness, accountability, and specific knowledge with leverage, labor, capital, or code and media. Ask yourself two key questions. Is this authentic to me? Am I scaling it through labor, capital, or code or media? It takes time to discover the thing only you can provide. It can even take the better part of a decade to identify your unique contribution. Once you build assets around it, your progress suddenly looks effortless from the outside. Technology is shape of opportunity. Technology democratizes consumption but consolidates production. The best at anything eventually gets to do it for everyone. And society pays for what it wants but cannot yet produce itself. Your job is to find the thing you can provide naturally, then figure out how to scale it to thousands or millions of units. Oil made Rockefeller rich. Cars made Henry Ford rich. Microsoft made Bill Gates rich. YouTube videos made Mr. Beast rich. And podcasts made Joe Rogan rich. For each case, find what society you will want, build it well, and scale it, serving millions of people. So we were talking about the wealth section, and now we shift to the happiness section. Happiness, default state, presence, and desire. Happiness as subtraction. According to Naval, happiness is a default state. It shows up when we remove the sense of something missing in our lives. The mind constantly says, I need this or I need that. Happiness appears when those contracts dissolve. It's not about positive thinking, it's about fewer desires. Happiness is what's there when you remove the sense that something is missing in your life. Again, happiness is not about positive thoughts or negative thoughts. It's about the absence of desire, especially the absence of desire for external things. The fewer desires, the more acceptance. The more present, the happier you'll be. Most of the time, we are not in the present. We are planning for the future or regretting over the past. And that blocks gratitude and the ability to see beauty in what's already here. Naval puts, enlightenment is the space between your thoughts. It's not about the mountaintop trophy. It's a moment-to-moment capacity. A happy person effortlessly interprets events without losing inner peace. The external makes me happy mistake. We think a new thing, like a car or a house, will change our baseline and happiness level, but we are often just addicted to desiring. Looking outside of yourself for anything is the fundamental delusion. It doesn't mean never take action. It means stop tying basic peace to future conditions. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. And more activities can mean more desires, and more desires can slowly destroy your happiness. Time, money, health trade-offs across life stages remind us to protect the trifecta. Don't wait until one pillar is gone. Young people have time and health, but no money. Middle-aged people have money and health, but no time. Older people have time and money, but no health. In other words, we should learn to enjoy and embrace every single moment of our lives fully. We have three choices in any situation: change it, accept it, or leave it. Changing it is a desire. It can cause suffering until it works. Pick one big desire for purpose and motivation. Don't collect too much of these at once. The hack for accepting what can be changed. Embrace death. Death is the most important thing that is ever going to happen to you. Keeping it in view gives life meaning and perspective. Your time is short. Why spending it in unnecessary suffering? Interpret your moments positively. Your life is a firefly blink in a night. Life is a game. It's a fun game. You're going to die. And here's a quote I really like from Naval. You are going to die one day, and none of this is going to matter. So enjoy yourself. Do something positive. Project some love. Make someone happy. Love a little bit. Appreciate the moment, and do your work. Expectations are the enemy of peace. Society's expectations train us to chase multiplayer trophies like looks, houses, visible wins. But happiness is something internal. No external progress or validation is required. In other words, the reality is life is a single player game. You are born alone, you are going to die alone. All of your interpretations are alone. You're gone in 3 generations, and nobody cares. It's all single player. So the present is all we have. There is actually nothing but this moment. No one goes back, no one can predict the future reliably. Any 2 points are infinitely different. Each moment is perfectly unique. We are dying and reborn each instant. And it's all up to us to remember. Be yourself and health as a base. Choose to be yourself instead of copying. Stop beating yourself up with lists of shoulds. All you should do is what you want to do. When you stop trying to move the way others want, you can listen to the inner voice and get to be you. No one in the world is going to beat you at being you. You'll never be as good at being someone else as they are. They'll never be as good at being you. Everyone is uniquely good at something, shaped by their DNAs, experiences, and life path. Obsession and originality. To make an original contribution, you have to be irrationally obsessed with something. This ties back to the specific knowledge and the uniqueness. And health is the first priority. Naval says, my number one priority in life, above my happiness, above family, above my work, is my own health. First, prioritize your physical health, then mental, then spiritual, then family's health and well-being. Everything else comes after. Without health, wealth and happiness are hard to hold. Long-term people and things. And you should spend time only with the people you know you want in your life for the long run. And you should only work on things that will pay off in the long run. This repeats the wealth idea. Long-term games with long-term people now apply to life and well-being. Here's a review. The wealth mechanics. How to build wealth that lasts. Begin with authenticity. Escape competition through authenticity. The race ends when you stop copying. Build what's a natural extension of who you really are. Every breakthrough starts with someone simply being themselves at scale. Develop specific knowledge. Follow your genuine curiosity until it becomes mastery. Let doing, not schooling, teach you. The internet has made every niche global. If you are truly the best at one small thing, the world will find you. Take accountability, then claim equity. Put your name on the line. Responsibility is the price of leverage. Ownership is freedom. When you sleep, your assets should keep working. Whatever you create, own a piece of it so you get to enjoy the unlimited upside. Use leverage intelligently. Labor, the oldest and the most limited form. Capital, powerful but permissioned. Products with no marginal cost of replication. This is a permissionless leverage. These are your digital armies working while you're sleeping. True leverage is the bridge between effort and scale. And here's a one-line wealth equation. Apply specific knowledge with leverage, and eventually you will get what you deserve. Wealth is not luck. It's a byproduct of clarity, patience, and compounding authenticity. Now, the happiness mechanics. How to stay free. Return to your natural default. Happiness isn't earned. It's uncovered when you remove the sense that something's missing. The fewer desires you chase, the closer you get to peace. Train presence, not positivity. The mind lives in motion, regret, or anticipation. And again, enlightenment is the space between your thoughts. If you're thinking about the future and the past so much, the space is too big. The smaller the space, the better. Master the only 3 choices. Change it, accept it, or leave it. Choose one big desire for direction. Accept the rest for peace. The fewer battles you fight, the lighter you travel. Remember death and appreciate a blink. Mortality is the ultimate clarity tool. Every moment wasted on complaint is one you never get back. You are going to die one day, and none of this is going to matter. So enjoy yourself, do something positive, project some love. Play the single player game. Stop letting society score your happiness. You are born alone, you'll die alone. And every intersection in between is yours to choose. Use wealth to buy time. Use time to find presence. Use presence to enjoy building again. Here's the actions you can take. Revisit each principle in real life. For wealth, ask, do I own anything that earns while I sleep? Am I renting time or building assets? What skill feel like play to me but looks like work to others? For happiness, ask yourself, what desires are contracts I've signed to be unhappy until fulfilled? What can I drop right now and still be a whole being? Am I playing a single player game or living by multiplayer expectations? Build your personal map of leverage. Write down the three types: labor, capital, and products with no marginal cost of replication, and circle where you can start today without permission. Choose one form of permissionless leverage, like YouTube, code, writing, design, and commit to learning or creating one small product this week. Productize yourself. Identify what only you can do because of your unique mix of interests and experiences. It can be a guide, a tool, a tutorial, or a social media story that keeps working after you stop. Protect your time like an asset. Set an aspirational hourly rate that feels absurdly high and start acting like it's real. Outsource and automate any tasks that cost less than your rate. Free up time blocks for creation, reading, or stillness, not more busyness. Practice the happiness habits. Drop one unnecessary desire each week. Spend 5 minutes a day in the space between your thoughts. Replace comparison with gratitude by noticing one neutral thing and calling it enough. Keep a compound journal. Each day, take note of one area where you improved 1%. It can be skill, idea, or anything. Over time, you'll see compounding in knowledge, relationships, and peace. Close the loop. Rewatch or reread these notes after 7 days and explain one insights out loud in your own words, because teaching a concept locks in understanding better than rereading it 10 times. Thank you guys to stick until the very end. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. I'm organizing my notes into a free newsletter, so click on the link in the description below to get the full framework and the notes when they're ready. See you in the next one.